Alright, here's the deal. I just saw this post from NF, which is great to see anything that he posts because he hardly ever does. But my focus was more on this caption right here. And this kind of just opened the floodgates of everything I have to talk about NF for. I want to talk about something I call the Feuerstein Effect. Feuerstein being NF's last name. His name is Nate Feuerstein. The Feuerstein Effect. I think he blatantly explains it on the first phrase of the second verse of his track, Leave Me Alone. Where what he says is to the effect that he will let the buzz around his name and his music completely fade away before he does anything else, before he comes out with any sort of new music, because he knows that how much of a cult fan base he has and that they're going to brace it no matter how long it takes for it to come. But I think a lot of aspects of NF's method are very dated, and I will explain why. First of all, the 2-year album cycle, are you crazy? Going 2 years without an album is absolutely nuts. The climate of what music has come to now, considering how much access we have to all kinds of music now, just consider people's attention span. They listen to so much from so many different people now. It's almost impossible to be remembered within the span of 1 year, let alone 2. But don't get me wrong, I feel like NF does compensate for that very well with the singles that he'll put out between albums. I think if he stays as consistent with that as he did with The Search and the singles leading up into Search, I don't think he'll have much to worry about. But that says something. You have to maintain a presence for people to still care about what it is you're doing. And considering NF isn't even really a public figure like that, like he hardly ever posts on his social media, it is so difficult to stay in tune with what he's doing if you're not wholeheartedly invested. Which is why I think NF's fan base is so cult-like, because people are dedicated to it like a religion. And considering how long NF has been around, I don't think he's gonna have to worry about it, because like, he's built a strong fan base for himself over the course of this last decade. But if you're just starting out and you're looking for a model to follow, the Feuerstein method is not the way to go. I've been doing music actively for 5 years, and I haven't even gone 1 year without putting out a new project. You know why? Because it's absolutely crazy. If anything, when you're just starting out, you should try to put something out every few months at the least. I mean, there's some cats now, there's so many in the underground actually, that they've only been around for maybe a few years or even a few months, but they put out music at an alarming rate. Sometimes a song every few days, in fact. And lots of them, having been around for a few years, don't even have an album. They just have a shitload of singles. But you know what? People know those songs. Which, considering that, begs the question, why would you bet on an entire album when all you really need is one good song? And really, just look in popular music, what some of the biggest releases in rock music specifically, for example, Panic at the Disco with High Hopes and Falling in Reverse with Popular Monster. And to add one more for good measure, Machine Gun Kelly with Bloody Valentine. All of those people have been consistently putting out really solid singles. They're not just betting on an entire set of songs hoping that one of them is going to pop off. Granted, it's not to say that they don't drop albums. Machine Gun Kelly just dropped Tickets to My Downfall, which is great, by the way. But the consistency the likes of an MGK has shown over the past year is incredible. And he's got a bigger presence on social media than the likes of an NF, with close to 7 million Instagram followers. And he's consistently posting probably like 10 times a week. And in terms of marketing and representing your brand, that is something that you should be thinking about as an artist. Like, this is the first video that I've even made in weeks now, and that is crazy to think about. Nobody should be going this long and expecting to grow their base at all. Like, it's insane. Like, the whole 2-year album cycle thing, that was a good idea like a decade and a half ago. That was good before Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. But now, in terms of marketing and even making the music itself, we're all on a far more even playing field than we've ever been before. So now it's really on. You got to be on it. You got to be on your game all the time. Maybe when you're more established and you've created a presence the likes of an NF probably has, the Feuerstein Effect probably won't be as big a deal. It probably won't have as much an effect on you as it would for a rookie, so to speak. But NF is not a rookie. But even still with that, I think he's taking risks that he just shouldn't have to take. Like, it's been too long since he last put out a single. What was it? Pay My Dues? When did that come out? Was it late last year or early this year? I can't remember. And that's exactly my point. You cannot be going this long without new music and expect anyone to still care. NF, I love you, bro. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying. It's been too long. I'd love for you to give us something to hold us over. But for real, dude. 2 years without an album is crazy. But anyways, that's my thoughts on that. And just wanted to throw out a little tip out there for anybody who's just starting out. Stay consistent. Maintain a good presence. Don't take any unnecessary risks betting on an entire set of songs when all you need is one really good one. Which, by the way, I haven't dropped anything in a few months now, I think. So I'll give you something later this week.